good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Trash Your Past with your boy Mo Hatch. Perfect timing. Appreciate y'all jumping and tuning in with me to check out this episode. Today's going to be a Trash Your Past review of Nas's most recent release, King's Disease. Get in tune, get your popcorn, whatever you need, but pay attention. Now, before we actually get into the full review of this album, I at least want to share with y'all what I'm looking for, and then we'll get into it, right? So we got 5 categories that we gonna critique albums on moving forward, and we gonna give them a score of 0 through 2 on each category. That way, at the end of it, every artist has the opportunity to get a score from 0 through 10. All right? If you get 0, clearly you trash. It is what it is. I can't sugarcoat it. I can't make it sweet for you. It's the truth. Now, if you get a 10, man, you pass with a golden A. You hear me? Like, that's what you really want. So let's make it happen, man. I'm gonna break down these categories for y'all, you know what I mean, and make sure that everybody understands. So number 1, you got creativity, and with that kind of embodies all but not limited to storyline. You know what I'm saying? You got artwork, lyrics, and metaphors. So that's what I'm looking for off the rip. There might be other things that catch my eye, like, oh dang, that's kind of creative. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, that's what I'm looking for. Nas gonna get critiqued on that, and every artist will too. Hell, y'all can hold me accountable to these same standards whenever I drop some music, and boom, that's what it is. But the next category that any artist be held subject to is audio quality and beat diversity. Because nobody really wants to have to struggle to understand what the artist is saying. You know what I'm saying? So round up with your engineering team, round up with production, you know what I mean? Round up with whoever you need to on the mix and the mastering to make sure on that bounce out, we know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So boom, that's that. And then on the beat diversity, we don't want to hear the same thing track after track after track after track. It's just, at least I don't. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm going to rate that on. You feel me? So boom, keep that in mind. But the next category that I want to be, you know what I'm saying, a little mindful of is appropriate length. Sometimes artists put out music that you just feel like it's dragging on. Like, dang, you had me at first, but you're just taking too long to wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all remember Dave Chappelle when he was telling us to wrap it up. Like, wrap it up, B. Like, hurry up. Get it over with. Like, you're killing me. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Nobody wants to be going through that. And then on the other tip, you know what I'm saying, of that, dang, don't cut the album off too soon, B. I was just getting into the groove, you know what I'm saying? I was just rocking with you, you know what I mean? So find the balance is all I'm saying. Find what makes sense and go from there. Next category I think is really important is educational and informative effort. You know what I mean? Like, what type of a societal impact are you having? That can include just sales, or it can include, you know what I'm saying, different types of trends that are appearing on social media, whether it's TikTok waves or whatever the new hype and frenzy is going to be. You know, these kids these days, they find something that's new every day, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I said it. But anyway, I'm just saying out loud, like, with y'all, I think it's very important just for artists to be able to have some type of an impact, and hopefully they making a positive impact, you know what I'm saying? If it's negative, that'll get addressed too. That'll definitely get addressed too, but I'm hopeful that it'll be on the positive forefront. And then very last but not least, it's purposeful, right? Did that artist attempt to address or to change any types of social issues? For example, you know, worldwide right now, famine's a problem. You don't hear too much about it on the mainstream news network. So I'm just saying, what artist is really taking them risks and calling out leaders in the organizations that, you know, control America, to say the least. Like, I think that's a very important category as well. So let's just go ahead and keep that in mind while we break down this Nas album. Alright, so let's get into it. King's Disease. Nas breaks it down as overindulgence. You know, that could be bad for anybody, and I don't disagree. They say too much water can be bad for you. You know what I'm saying? So hell, imagine the things that we know ain't the best for you off the strength. So I dig Nas's attempt to shed light on things that people might be abusing in their own personal lives, and his as well, right? Obviously, he's shedding light on what's going on in his life with this album. So in regards to the creativity, the storyline number one is catching me, so that's cool. as far as lyrics and metaphors, I know exactly what to expect from Nas, and is always to be surprised with some unexpected bars. You know what I'm saying? Nas comes with some incredible lyrics all day, all night. He's just one of those lyricists that you can expect gold from and get diamonds. You know what I mean? So salutes to him. Of course, I finished the album, and I would agree that his lyrics and metaphors were at the usual level, if not somewhat excelling on certain tracks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very proud that Nas is able to maintain the skills that he has, as if, you know what I'm saying, like I contributed. I haven't, but I'm just proud to see the artistry that he's able to present each and every time around. So salute to him on that. And as far as the artwork for King's Disease, it's dope. If you haven't seen it, obviously I'll go ahead and put it up here for you to look at it. Check it out. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he get a full 2 in that category of creativity. But now we're going to move on to the audio quality and beat diversity. So for the audio quality and beat diversity, I mean, as you all may or may not be aware, but this time around, Nas had the opportunity to partner with Hit Boy on the production. Hit Boy, if y'all not aware, is a renowned producer. He does great work. And before we actually get a little further into Hit Boy, I kind of want to draw some comparisons between this album of King's Disease versus Nas' most recent release prior that was executive produced by that of Kanye West. Interesting that this album by Hit Boy, in my opinion, exceeded the performance of that of Kanye West. Now, Nas kind of alluded as to why that could be people's perception, and he, long story short, suggested that the brief time in which him and Kanye West had to partner and collaborate and to actually work jointly on the album was very brief. In addition to that, Kanye was working on several other albums at that exact moment, including his own. It was including Kid Cudi's. It was including Tiana Taylor's as well. So he had his hands full with 3 other albums on top of Nas's album. So no, discredit to Kanye, but I think the fans, myself included, wish that more effort would have gone into that album, because there was a lot of high hope and expectations for it. And not that it fell short, like significantly, but it did fall short. However, back to Hit Boy, back to Nas. As far as the audio quality and beat diversity goes, this is a 2 for sure. They put in the work, they put in the time, they put in the effort, and it's reflected heavily on each and every track, in my opinion. Everything sounds crisp. Everything sounds as if it's unique to the previous song that just played. We'll continue, but I just wanted to make sure, again, audio quality and beat diversity were addressed. Again, Nas and Hit Boy get a 2. Yo, so when we think about the appropriately length portion of things on Nas's end for this album, King's Disease, I kind of feel as if it's the perfect length, but I kind of explain why though. You know, when again I kind of compared his album to what he did with Kanye, and that felt relatively brief, and it felt, I hate to say, it kind of felt rushed as well. You know what I mean? It just didn't mesh well. And when I think about this King's Disease album, it just seemed as if, Nas was able to get into his bag a little bit more. You know what I mean? He was able to talk his shit, if you will. You feel me? He was quite comfortable. He even got back on his sample, New York State of Mind. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that it was just like a unique twist to how they presented it, Hit Boy and Nas on that little track. I think it's Blue Benz is dope. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like Nas was able to kind of experiment a little bit more, but still stay within his natural aura and still flex his metaphors and his lyrics and everything like that. And he did it for 39 minutes on 13 tracks. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, I think again it was the perfect length. Him, Hit Boy, they just did a really good job with that. And so I want to give that category a definite 2 as well. I don't have any problems with that. On the next categories though, I want to make sure that we kind of think about that'd be the educational and informative, and that includes again societal impact, album sales, if you will. I feel as if everybody knows, or if not, they're growing to know that Nas is somewhat of a trendsetter. You know what I mean? I know him and his feud with Jay-Z kind of maybe divided the fanship a little bit. But at the end of the day, Nas is a very successful entrepreneur as well. He gets a lot of money outside of music business. But with that being said, everyone just knows that Jay-Z is a titan when it comes to that. And so sometimes a lot of what Nas has accomplished is overshadowed. It comes with the territory of being in New York, being in hip-hop, and having that competitive nature, you know what I mean? It just, sometimes things gravitate towards other people at different times, but never forget, Nas is doing quite well. And with that being said, I feel as if the trends that he's set is what helps establish his societal impact every time he has a release. So for example, the Nas and Kanye release, a lot of folks was looking forward to that. There was a lot of hype behind it, but I don't think that it really connected with the fans as they were hoping. Myself specifically, I know it didn't. I don't think that one was a good credit to their collaboration. But with this one with him and Hit Boy, I feel as if it was received well publicly. It's already, if I'm not mistaken, slated for top 5 in sales. For all the other albums that are out right now at this current time, I think he is competing with Juice WRLD and Pop Smoke. You know what I mean? Both who are artists, unfortunately, who are deceased, but sometimes that spikes the numbers in quite a few ways. You know what I mean? So he's out maneuvering those numbers right now, and I believe Taylor Swift too. So keep that in mind. But overall, though, if I'm going to rate this one, I think that clearly gets a 2 as well. And it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Nas did some good work. Hit Boy and him collaborated in ways in which I don't think people were really expecting. At least I wasn't aware that they were working on the album together. And it seems as if almost it dropped over the course, maybe of 2 days. I think I got aware maybe a day or two before. But for the most part, to have a 2-day heads up for them to release this body of work is pretty astounding, you know what I'm saying? And I'm appreciative as a fan, you know what I'm saying? So salute to y'all. But let's go ahead and jump into the next category. So as far as the ability to address and change social issues, Nas has always made stances clear. He's very vocal about what he feels, whether it's emotional and relationship related or if it's political or not. You know what I'm saying? If it's slave related or if it's ancestry related, he's always been very forward about it. Whether it's been, you know, the kings and the queens of our time, or whether he's representing the pharaohs of back in the day, he's always made a purpose with his message. And so nothing fell short within this album as well. There's a lot in which he's able to accomplish and address. I do encourage y'all to, you know, check it out for yourselves. I don't want to reveal all of what he addresses on the album, of course, you know, but there are things that is worth hearing about. For example, he puts out the track with, you know, Anderson .Paak, and he's talking about, you know, things of like, who do you think you're talking to? Don't talk back. How things don't work out with younger women as he's dating them, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, wow, you know, you would think with the success that you've been able to accomplish, you would be able to find that happiness that you sought out. You know, things didn't work out with him and Khalees in the past, so it's just unfortunate, right? So that's just the relationship side of things, but of course there's other things in which he speaks on that is like, okay, I can kind of relate to that, or at least I can understand and recognize what you're trying to accomplish by speaking on it. So I just want y'all, you know, give it an opportunity, check it out. Again, on the purpose, I give this one, I give it a 1. You know, I don't think that there was anything that was, you know, targeted that was happening immediate at this moment within, you know, America, for example, right? We got voting coming up. We have Donald Trump in office. We have Kanye West running for president or attempting to, and nothing like that was addressed, right? So I would have liked to have heard something about that in regards to like the social issues. I know some of that might have already been happening prior to the completion of the album. It's possible, but at the end of it, you know, at least he addressed Gayle King. Salute to Nas. Salute to Hit Boy. Salute to this album. Out of a score from 0 through 10, out of the 5 categories I've shared, I give this album a 9 out of 10. Super fire, super flames, super heat. Check it out. Rotate it. Play it. Beginning to end. I'm pretty confident you're going to like something on there. It's been one with y'all. Love.